Common errors that I see all the time in common poses that supposedly are poses that are basic and beginner-like, I still see people making these common errors over and over again. So let's be present in our practice. Let's be focused on alignment and protecting our bodies so that this practice is sustainable. So the idea with Utkatasana, as I'm going to take that one as the first one, is we reach the arms forward, send the hips back, and most of the time people lean forward like this, and look where all the weight is. It's dumping on my knees. Bad idea. Sit back. Get the hips back. Even though the torso is leaning forward so you can sit down deeper, keep the knees back. So you can look down and you almost fall back. Feels like you're going to fall back. You can also see your toes when you look down. Stay off the knees and use the quads. Especially when you change it to the second version, modified, open the feet, arms, shoulder height. The tendency when people come down is, again, to come down. They start dumping down on the knees. Danger. Get off the knees. Get back on the quads. Use the quadriceps. Use the abdominals here. Use the arm strength. Your arms aren't limp and loosey-goosey. They're strong. And if I dropped my arms, I should fall backwards. Utkatasana, awkward pose, common mistakes. Common errors, things that I see often in advanced practitioners. Another pose, popular, see it in almost every single series of poses, is Warrior Two. Opening the feet wide, extending the arms left to right. If you pivot on your heel to open the right toes right, next thing you know, here comes the hip going with you. Well, it wouldn't be Warrior Two, it would be going more towards Warrior One. But if you're really looking for a Warrior Two, the hips should face the long edge of the mat. So as the foot lifting the toes, you pivot on the heel. The movement is here, in the crease, in the hip, where the joining of the thigh bone meet the hip bone, the femur, it's the hip ball and socket joint. It swivels. When it does not swivel, the tendency is, oh, well, I said bring my foot this way so the other hip comes. Let it happen from here. Allow the pose to grow from the inside out, not from the outside in, not from what you see. Grow your poses from what you feel. And if this is as far as you can move your foot and your toes don't go completely to the front of the mat, stay here. This way your hips are gradually going to open outward like a flower blossoming open. And little by little, this external rotation of the right thigh bone in the hip will come without sacrificing, compensating, dropping the left hip down. Then you get a warrior that looks like a warrior. Warriors don't lean. Warriors are upright, solid, confident. Hurricane winds cannot move a warrior from this pose. And looking over the right fingertips to the future, reaching and leaving the past in the past with the left arm reaching back, and the heart center in the middle, living in the present, being in the present in this pose. Another common thing is that when the hips do release some, or the tendency to drop it forward and do things like this, the knee goes beyond the ankle. Danger on the knee again. Come back. Take the quad. Line it up with the knee over the ankle, over the big toe. Not wandering the knee in or out, and not pressing too far forward or leaning too far back on the knee. Stack the knee over the ankle. Keep the hips parallel to the side of the mat. And in time, as the hips soften and open and release little by little, the right leg will become a 90-degree angle, and that may take a few decades. It doesn't happen in one day. The longer you hold the pose, the more muscle memory you build, the more opportunity you have to find that